Hello and welcome back to episode 18. Where we left off last time was just niggling in up here, and I'm actually going to stop that with where we're at. So we do have now where you can see the leftovers, the remnants here of the power plant that we had. I've ripped that out to get this temperature to come back down again and hopefully help with the base, though the base is getting a bit too warm, so we're going to figure that out. Down here now we've moved the power, which is running on hydrogen power only. This is run from a natural gas geyser that is here. This natural gas geyser is pumping this natural gas into these backups here. It says it's blocked, I'm not sure why. So is this at max pressure? It is. Okay, so what happens is this pumps out the natural gas from the geyser and it pumps it into these 4 backups to hold it. So you can see we've got a nice backup there and there. Anything else it pumps up, because that would break the system, it's using the filter to take out the natural gas over here, and I can show you that if I just... So the natural gas is forced by the filter over here, so we only get natural gas, and everything else is put back into the base. But because the base is at cap, i.e. overpressured, it stopped working. Now, do we have a high pressure? We do. So what I'll do is I'll deconstruct that on a high priority. Then if we get the high pressure vent, we can't build that actually because we've got no plastic. Okay. That's still going to try and create a vacuum in there, as you can see. What do we do? I really need to get to the surface to just dump. So, how cold is this? Right, I'm still going to have to do this because we really do need to work on, or I need to work on this thing. Now, this is early. This is too early. Really, I should be getting the spacesuit set up first, but I've got a plan of attack, so to speak, and I need to get this settled down. So if we go priority and try and max this off, the other thing then I want to do, we can clearly see here that there is a lot of heat. So if I put another thing there, I need to get the doors, because the annoying thing is the doors aren't actually insulated. So there is a mod to do that, and I normally have that, so I will get that so that we can have doors here that are insulated. This will be then the hot box, as it's called, or the hot room, which is where I will have both these incubators, but then the items for the furnaces and things like that, and then I'll actually have a full liquid cooling loop in there. We've still not broke out to the vacuum of space just yet. We are getting warnings about that. So let's have a look at the base in terms of oxygen. This looks good to me. There's a huge issue here, which means there is far too much carbon dioxide down here. So while they're digging there, what I'm going to do is put in something like this, nice and simple, nothing too convoluted. Actually, why would I not just make it match the floor that we've already got? And this is temporary, but it will help just release a bit of the pressure that's building up from the carbon dioxide that is clearly everywhere. That is going to trigger everybody. It's too late. Yeah, I cancelled it. Okay, I'll cancel all of you then. Wait a minute. Cancel all. Thank you. Right, so if I try this again and make sure I don't leave the gap that's going to trigger someone, including me. This here was broken. Don't actually know what this was for. Oh, this was for pumping, and we're not actually pumping, so I'll leave that, because we're going to need it again anyway to get this out. what we're actually after here is ventilation. So if we link all of these inputs, and then the outputs can just be triggered to there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, I'm actually going to break the line here, just here, and then we're gonna have ventilation, a gas pump, and I'll put that in the middle there, and a gas pump in the middle there. There, and then deconstruct all this crap here because we don't need that at the minute. Like so. And then finally, with a bit of pipe, we can say that that goes into there and that goes into there. With any luck, this will harvest a lot of this carbon dioxide. You can see it, this thick, dark, greyish black thing here. It's down to 1.3 kilos up here. It should be heaviest down at the bottom where it's being compressed, but it's about 1.3 kilo. So if we can start eating this out of here, it will allow this carbon dioxide that's getting caught up here to fall down as well. Down here is some as well, but that's 1.2 kilo. I could, in fact I'm going to break that wall and then it will get that too. And actually, there is no reason why we can't just go straight across here, like so. Oops, there we go. 3 there and 3 there. And there's no reason why we can't just dig all that out and allow it to be even more so. So as you can see, these are going to suck up gas. Now they will suck up all gas that they get to. Now of course that should only really be carbon dioxide. As you can see, it is carbon dioxide, and you can see the carbon dioxide is coming in here from the power system. But this should work. Obviously these will fill up pretty quick. The idea is that in the meantime, while this is trying to reduce some of this amount of gas, we'll be able to dig up outside. Right, I don't really think, because what I actually want is this floor to be level, so something like this is a nice level where I would be sort of working. And this obviously isn't going to work as is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block this off. This now can be opened up temperature wise. Yeah, I'm just gonna rip this open like a band-aid, as they say. So if we put that there and that there, and then say dig out all of that, what's going to happen is this oxygen here should very quickly, as soon as they make a hole, rush into this area, and this red should dramatically go in a direction out of it. So you can see here, and if we speed all of this up and then turn the gas, whoops, the gas back on, and you can see this oxygen is coming through here, and then it's very quickly taking over this area because it's obviously high pressure technically compared to what was. So you see this is going to fill this. Now this is oxygen still, polluted oxygen, but nevertheless it's decent. So the only thing here that we need to keep, and actually what I want to do now is deconstruct both of these because they're going to be sucking out that oxygen and we don't need them to. So gas pipes, all of that, and power wires, all of that, and dig that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and link this now up to itself and let these temperatures kind of mix together, so as such, which means we need to get a ladder in there, a ladder in there, and a ladder in there, maybe even one there, we need an emergency to put that there to cap that off, because we're going to be opening that up now. And then if I deconstruct building, we'll rip this wall out, and potentially that door. We'll rip them out as well as them doors. Okay. And then again, keeping this level 9, I'm going to dig out all of this also. Right. So as you can see, there's a bit of a hot spot here, a really cold spot here, but it'll all sort itself out shortly, I hope. Like that. Make sure that's capped off as well. This doesn't actually transfer heat either, I don't believe, the neutronium, but it's always a good idea to just make sure. So we'll finish off this like so. And let's now have a look. Do we want to break into there? I don't think so just yet. So actually what I want to do, let's have a look at this temperature. I would like to, let's say, put the wall like so. Like that. Deconstruct everything above there if it'll allow. And of course cancel as well. And dig if anybody gets there in time, though they're not going to, because it's nowhere near as high priority as that. And then just to tidy this up a little bit, we want a bit of a ventilation floor there, there and there. And there. And it'll probably look like crap, but I'm just going to fill this in to make that match that floor, because otherwise it's going to trigger me. And we shouldn't need to get in there anyway, it's automatic. And then back to cancel all of this. That Draco's going to have a really bad day. Right, that is giving me a bad day. Let's do that, and then we can now deconstruct all of these ladders and all of these ladders, and deconstruct all of this and all of this. Actually, we'll get rid of all of this ladders, or at least scaffolding is what I use it for, but I'll leave that bottom layer. Actually, I need to leave, let me just select all, and then I'll stop it from taking the stuff I don't want it to take in a second. So I don't necessarily want it to take you. Right, so here I don't want it to touch you or you. But you can get rid of that, and in turn all of this and this. Okay. It will be done in one go because it's got chain deconstruct on, I think the mod is called, like that. Of course, I'm going to need to put a ladder back in here to allow them to get to there, and in fact what I'll do is I'll just switch that out and deconstruct that ladder like so. Here we go. So they can get out there now if they wish. And they'll dig that up there, which is cool. That. Now, it has opened up this, which I didn't plan on it, but I haven't actually, have I? I haven't actually opened it, so that's good. I'll close that. And I accidentally left this here, but that's a good thing. So what temperature does this come out? This is -10, and this is -10. So I could use these to cool some things down. Using liquid pumps to take the liquid out of these, maybe build underneath it, which I'm probably going to do actually. So let's get a scaffolding in straight away. It does not need to be that high a priority though. The idea being that these will create these liquids that are -10. They'll drop into a basin here. I'll take this liquid that's -10 away, use it to cool something down, and then discard of it. Because they're permanent, it's just easier than trying to regulate it and keep it. You can do that, and I'm going to have to do that, but I'm going to use a steam generator to do that in this hot room. Don't know why there's a mess here, but we'll get that cleaned up straight away. Right, so let's have a look. Out of curiosity, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to chuck a wall in there, just one wall, and then if I can remember, because I don't use them all very often, but what are they under? Time shift plate is what I'm looking for. I'm pretty sure I think you get them like quite soon. It should be in here. I'm sure it should. No, maybe not. Okay, well, pretty sure would it be here? Nope. Thank you. And it's a temp shift, not a time shift, but same difference, right? So ice. So I'm going to build that just there as an emergency, and then we'll see. I'll let it show you as opposed to me explaining what's going to happen. We'll wait for somebody to come over here like so. There it goes. You can see the temperature of that. And very, very quickly this is going to cool this area down, because it is, after all, -50. So any hot spots that I've got, I'm going to put a couple of these down. They will eventually melt into water, but that's not the end of the world. So if I put a couple in here like so, it doesn't take that much out, but I do think that these will help just bring some of these temperatures down. And as such, actually, I'll probably want a couple in here as well. So you can see them there, and now you can see very quickly they're going to be kicking out some very cold air, which will in fact mix with these. These will slowly dissipate down in their temperatures. As you can see, it's dropping quite reasonably actually. That one's dropping very quickly. And when they get to the 0 mark, they will just go splodge and turn into liquid, like a puddle like this, which will end up falling all the way down into here, if anywhere, which again is fine. Is that chlorine? It is. Okay, I'm not entirely sure I know how chlorine got in there, but it doesn't matter. So that one's melted. As you can see, the liquid has indeed done what I said it would do. And as you can see, the water is touching this time plate, immediately freezing, which is dramatically taking the temperature out of there. But that's all good, because that compensates for the temperature. And you can see there's a much better temperature differential there. And this is working in here as well. So that's happy for me at the minute. Next step, we've capped that off, haven't we? We have, yeah, great. Right, okay. So we've also almost completed this. We need a few more of these storage bins, I think. How much? I normally do one every. No, they do not need to be. They do not need to be built like a priority as high as that. So put them there. I just do this because the idea is that when dupes get a chance to clean up, doing it this way means that they can use the nearest one, unless it's something very specific. in terms of items that have to be stored in a specific place, they can just use any of these, and it just speeds up the process. I'm going to skip that level, but I'll put that up against the wall there. Do I put them in front of the doors? I do, so you know what? We'll copy it. And there. Okay. And then, can we get another ladder in here? Whoops. And then I'll do that, and I'll make it the same height as that one. And as well, get the pole after a bit of lag from the saving. There. And then we'll make sure that we get the tiles in to show off this. That would do. How's the oxygen going? Wow, okay. Not oxygen, carbon dioxide. There, it's worked. So what we'll do is now we'll go onto these, go disable and disable. And I mean, you can even see they're trapping some oxygen at the minute. So let's just check. Polluted oxygen, I'm not bothered about. 600 kilograms of carbon dioxide, 53 kilograms polluted oxygen, chlorine. A bit of everything, but nothing I want out in the base anyway. There is 160 kilos of oxygen there. But as you can see now, everything's dropping down. This needs to be deconstructed so that that helps that transfer, as does that. That and this. That should help the gases transfer through. And now all of this carbon dioxide will fall down here, but it's not going to back up too much. This is working nicely, or at least it appears to be. The power generation is enough. As you can see, the power available on the smart battery is going up significantly. And then obviously this is coming from this store. Now this store is nearly out. So we've got a bit of an emergency situation now to make sure that we fix the gas backup that we had, which to be honest should already be fixed because we've cleared out that bottom, so we should have no overpressure anymore. So I should be able to just chuck that in there. As you can see, all of these bins now are set, so as soon as they've got nothing to do, they should start using them with any luck. Is this still complaining about over? It is. And what is the... See, it doesn't look that bad to me. But if I go ventilation and get another pipe, and let's take that pipe to exactly the same level but there instead, for example, and that way if it can't go out of that one, it will go around and try and dump it on that side. This has now got no power, which of course is my fault, so let's put that cable in there because we're about to run out of power. We're getting very close. And there we go. So again, that should be running. There goes the natural gas. The natural gas goes into there. It immediately is going down. The pipe is full actually, so that's fine. And then the backup will back up into these to keep us going in the future. We'll keep an eye on that, but I want to try and see that these fill up pretty sharpish. So again, looking at the temperatures now, yeah, that room's cooled down nicely, and that temp shift plate is melted as I expected. And over here as well, it's going yellow, it's not as red as it was, so again that's working. This area is hot, but nobody can go in there anyway, so I'm not worried about that. And this area will be hot again one day, but we just need to obviously figure out how we're going to actually do that. Now we do have a lot of oil about, and I could do with making somewhere for the oil to stay. There is no oil I can see here, but obviously we're only at the far left hand side of the map and we need to go across here. So digging an laboratory tunnel this way could be beneficial for us. And just check the farm. So the farm has actually sorted itself in terms of temperature here. Here though, not so much. There is an issue with pressure in here. The pressure being 1400, and what's the maximum they're allowed? The atmosphere is carbon dioxide. That seems odd. Why is the carbon dioxide? Oh, that's why. That's my fault again. So we'll put that pipe back in there, which will pump the carbon dioxide in here. I want somebody to open this as an emergency as well, because what we're going to do, the carbon dioxide is now coming back because I've broke the pipe. That'll pump into this room. What you're going to see then is the red start to flow into here, and it will push out the blue, both blues, which are both oxygens. There it comes. And that's what we want. We actually want the carbon dioxide to be in here, not the oxygen, because mushrooms don't grow in oxygen. But other than that, they're happy. So these have got an issue with body temperature now. So they are at 30. No, the wallpaper is at 31. They're at 31 as well. And the maximum is 30. So we need to bring this room down by a degree. That's interesting. I could use a time shift plate, but it may work too well. So let's just see what's happening here. That's good. And then what we want is for this to be locked or auto. Just again, I make a change to it. There we go. And then what will happen now is all this carbon dioxide that's being pumped in here will sit at the bottom and sort out these, so they should start being fine. Of course, all this is fine, and we've got over 500,000 calories anyway, so food is good. Let's see what we got here. See if we're lucky. A nice blue t-shirt. I mean, it's blue and white, but it says blue. And another one. And another one. Blimey. All the rewards. This is a newish thing, so I never remember to actually check it. Right, that's something to personalise our dupes. Anyway, so on that note, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you very much for watching. On the next episode, we're obviously going to make sure this is finished and the temperatures are finished, and we are going to look to break out here using this area or maybe this area to get the spacesuits in, and then we can get the actual dupes on the surface and finally start getting some rockets launched. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.